My name's Kevin Norton. I'm from Adelaide, South Australia, and I have a company called Adelaide Fitness Solutions. I'm also a professor at a university in South Australia. Right now I'm in one of the offices of Virtual Employees in Delhi, and I'm here because it was an opportune time to visit. I was coming back from Europe on the way to Australia, and I'm working with some programmers who are developing a product for me. My initial fears about outsourcing were a number, based in Australia and working with people I didn't know and a company I didn't know. I was somewhat cautious, as most people would be. So that were my initial fears, the fact that I didn't know much about the company. I didn't know anything specific about the individuals that I was working with. So they were my fears that went through my mind as I set up the original contract for the product. The concerns that I had were supervision of the developers in India, and the fact that I was based in Australia, whether there would be anybody helping to ensure the product was continuing and the development was going smoothly. These were overcome because we set up regular Skype meetings, and I would do that once a week, and then as the product came closer to the end, we would do that 2 to 3 times a week. So I knew that the product was progressing, and it could also work online with the developer to make sure that any bugs were being attended to along the way. Those concerns were overcome to some extent, working regularly online via Skype, regular emails, and being on top of it, from my perspective, being on top of the rate of progression. It's not a situation where you can just let the programmers do what they need to do for weeks at a time. I think it's important that people who are thinking about development also realise that they need to be available and prepared to do some work so that it does run smoothly, because that's a part of the product development that would be important if you were in the same office. So it's even more important being on the other side of the world. I heard about VirtualEmployeecom through a story that was in the newspaper in Adelaide. It was in one of the Australian newspapers, and I did some background checks online and found out a little bit more about the company, and also talked to others who had been in product development and used offshore people. I've been involved in product development, software development, and e-learning development for about 6 or 7 years, and I have a team that I go to in Australia, and this is the first time I've used offshore consulting, and so there was some level of cautiousness and concern, but it's very effective in terms of the price. It runs fairly smoothly, providing there's regular online contact, and I'm getting more and more confidence in the whole system as this product nears completion. The applications are custom software development in the health and fitness industry, and previously I've worked on e-learning products for high schools and universities. Well, there are challenges, there's no question about that, and it's important that from your home country that you're prepared to regularly meet the programmers to outline specific concerns or schedules or deadlines or milestones that you might have, and that regular contact and regular feedback is important both ways. I made time to overcome those challenges. I made time in Australia to make sure I documented what needed to be done in the program, some milestones for the programmers to achieve, and also made time for regular Skype meetings. Well, the high points in this whole experience is seeing the product near completion. It's been 5 months and we're very close. It's quite a complex program, very close to completion. I guess the other high point is actually being here. I hadn't planned on coming here at the beginning, but given the opportunity coming back from Europe, I dropped in, and it's been a really fruitful experience in the last 3 days. It's helped kick the program along pretty quickly, and the hospitality has been fantastic. My visit here to New Delhi is the first time in India, first time I've met face-to-face with any of the Virtual Employees staff, and that's certainly been a highlight for me. There are different models. The model here using Virtual Employees is very different from the clients that I normally use in Australia. They are outstanding. The people that I used in Australia, their development is outstanding. So it was a big decision to go offshore. The competitiveness in terms of the pricing here was very important in that decision, and it's been a very productive time, and I'm very pleased with the outcome, and I would use Virtual Employees again in the future, and I plan to with at least 2 more products. I think this model works for people who know what they want in terms of the product outcome. It would work best with people who have experience from the opposite side of the world or from other countries. They have a team of people here right now where I'm sitting in just outside. There's an office with approximately 100 staff. There's another office nearby with as many staff. So there's the resources here are enormous in terms of skills, and within those teams they can find people to deal with solutions in product development. So that gives me confidence that no matter what the product involves or the types of skills required, that they'll find them here. I think in terms of building the business from Virtual Employees perspective, a lot of people in other countries are always cautious about going offshore, and that's understandable. I was, and I know other colleagues in Australia are thinking about going offshore, but they have some level of concern. Is it a legitimate company? Is it a reliable company? And my experiences over the last 5 months have given me great confidence to go again and use Virtual Employees for my next product. So I think in order to overcome those concerns, Virtual Employees should perhaps market themselves better offshore, and perhaps visit, I think, is important, face-to-face contact with potential customers in other countries.